Lesson 19. Prophecy by Symbolic Actions, Part 3. Lie down on your left side. Scripture reading, Ezekiel chapter 4, verses 4 to 5. Introduction. The event in Ezekiel chapter 4, which follow the events of Ezekiel chapters 1 to 3, took place in 593 BC. God commanded Ezekiel to lie down on his left side for 390 days and bear the iniquity of the Israelites. Ezekiel chapter 4 verse 4 says, "As for you, lie down on your left side, and lay the iniquity of the house of Israel on it. You shall bear their iniquity for the number of days that you lie on it." Left side is Somali in Hebrew, meaning north. If our body faces east, then our left side faces north, and our right side faces south. In ancient Near East, east was always the standard for all directions. In this lesson, we will examine the meaning of the third prophecy by symbolic actions. Number 1. 1 day indicates 1 year. Ezekiel chapter 4 verse 5 says, "For I have assigned you a number of days corresponding to the years of their iniquity, 390 days. Thus, you shall bear the iniquity of the house of Israel." According to the latter half of Ezekiel chapter 4 verse 6, which says, "I have assigned it to you for 40 days, a day for each year." 390 days indicates 390 years. Number 2. Different viewpoints of the 390 days. Ezekiel chapter 4 verse 4 says, "You shall bear the iniquity of the house of Israel." And Ezekiel chapter 4 verse 5 says, "You shall bear the iniquity of the house of Israel." Here, the house of Israel refers to the northern kingdom of Israel. First, viewing it as 208 years. Some people interpret 390 days as 208 years, starting from 930 BC, when the northern kingdom of Israel was established, to 722 BC, when the northern kingdom of Israel was destroyed by Assyria. But you can see that the number is not right at all. Second, viewing it as 393 years. Others interpret 390 days as 393 years, starting from 930 BC, when the northern kingdom of Israel was established, to 537 BC, the first return from Babylon. This view is close in number, but not exactly correct. Third, viewing it as 390 years. We should view 390 days as 390 years, starting from 930 BC to 540 BC. King Solomon died in 930 BC, and the country was divided into southern Judah and the northern kingdom of Israel. The northern kingdom of Israel fell to Assyria, and Assyria fell to Babylon in 722 BC. In 540 BC, Babylon was ruled by King Belshazzar and King Cyrus, the founder of Achaemenid's empire, who attacked Gutium east of Babylon. This event led to the liberation of the Jews from Babylon. In 539 BC, King Belshazzar was killed, and Babylon was destroyed by the allied forces of Persia and Medes. The following year, in 538 BC, King Cyrus issued a decree for the liberation of the Israelites who had been taken to Babylon. Ezra chapter 1, verses 1 to 3 says, "Now the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, in order to fulfill the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah, the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus king of Persia, so that he sent a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and also put it in writing, saying, 'Thus says Cyrus king of Persia, the Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he has appointed me to build him a house in Jerusalem which is in Judah. Whoever there is among you of all his people, may his God be with him. Let him go up to Jerusalem which is in Judah, and rebuild the house of the Lord, the God of Israel. He is the God who is in Jerusalem.'" This decree of liberation was issued in 538 BC, which was made possible because King Cyrus invaded Babylon in 540 BC. Therefore, the 390 days, or the 390 years that God spoke to the prophet Ezekiel, is a period from 930 BC, when King Solomon died, and Israel was split into southern Judah and the northern kingdom of Israel, to 540 BC, when King Cyrus invaded Babylon. God commanded the prophet Ezekiel to bear God's wrath during this period of sin on behalf of the Israelites.